9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's Mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.
Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Yardley, Pennsylvania.
To do a little racing, about 500 miles. My thoughts of embracing.
Move over there, speed racer. Oh man,
the song does get me into it.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it has a, I can't imagine like, easy listening music at a track.
Not for a track, no.
It's got to be Leonard Skinner or something like that, right? So.
Yeah, usually a lot of Southern stuff.
Yeah, that's right. South Jersey. Yeah, Southampton. Got them all here. Hey, we're the Need for Speed. Fred's also got the show in the PM, which is going very well.
Yes, yeah. Wide Open Wednesdays with Nick Leach and I, and we had some great show last night with Warren Alston and a bunch of callers, Danny Book, Dom Antonelli, some of our usual cast of characters here to call here too. Earl Krause from Wall, the Stadium Speedway. He might call again today. I told him to, and he might be the recipient of me heading down there with all this rain, making mud pits out of Bridgeport in New Egypt. The Wall can recover a little quicker from because it's asphalt, and so Nick and I may head down there Saturday.
That is an important point, though, because some heavy rains, hurricane stuff, you could be out for a while, and there's just safety issues and
there's safety issues, track issues. A lot of people don't understand that, like. Last week, everybody canceled, and people were on Facebooks and stuff. The Facebook keyboard warrior saying, "Why are you canceling? This is a bunch of crap." And it was like they don't realize what it takes to run a track. There's a lot of naysayers and negators and stuff like that. It's just if you put cars out on a wet track. One, it's going to tear up the cars. Two, it's going to tear up the track, almost to the point where it won't be able to recover. They'll have to skin it and start over again. I think New Egypt tried to do that early in the year, and people were breaking axles and in the cars and all that stuff, and it was just not a pleasant experience for anybody.
Is there a point of no return? Then you just get beat up, and pretty soon, guess what? You're going to need a new car or a new.
If it's a rear or tires or something like that, you can probably just fix that. But it's still stuff you don't need to do. The rears on them are probably not cheap. I'll find out soon now that I bought my own car, and
the 130. Huh?
Yeah, the 130.
I saw that. I know we mentioned it before, but I couldn't make the 130 connection. I know.
Well, that was the 130 is Nick. That's a replica of Nick's brother Johnny.
Okay. Who
worked at a Quality Auto Body on Route 130, and I guess he couldn't think of a different number, so 130 sounded good.
It had to be a 130 route connection somewhere, or maybe where he bought it, or maybe they got a ticket down there.
Well, Nick and John and all those guys were from Burlington.
Yeah, so, maybe he got a a ticket down there. I don't know.
Usually, when there's a number, it has some kind of emotional attachment to it, or some kind of attachment.
Yeah,
but you don't want to tear up your cars out on a crappy track, and you don't want to tear up the track because then that track may be down for a couple of weeks, just trying to get it back into shape for a later on race. Hopefully that the rain holds off. Saturday's supposed to be bad today, bad tomorrow.
Yeah.
Start to clear up late tomorrow. Maybe the tracks will dry out enough, but I've been down to Bridgeport where they had to cancel. They tried for hours and hours and hours trying to get the track right, and it just wasn't going to happen. And the infield looked like a soup bowl, and so they after about 3 hours, they just threw in the towel and said, we're not going to be able to run tonight. And I understand, but a lot of people were mad.
The extreme heat there was doing some damage as well.
Extreme heat, you can go out.
Stuff buckling and pavement buckling, maybe?
Well, the pavement, the dirt, it doesn't affect it as much. It might make it a little dustier, harder to keep traction on the track, but mostly a dust problem, for the fans. But, the other thing is, like when I was 20, I probably would sit out there and do it.
Oh, we didn't care.
And now that we're 60 and 70 years old, it's just like, I don't want to sit out there and drip sweat. And then think about it, when it's that hot, in the stands. It's almost double that in the cars. So
it seems like we sound like the old days. We could stand the heat. We didn't have air conditioning. A lot.
No, we didn't.
No, but eventually we got central air. We got air, and you can't sell a car without air.
Right. I mean, it's different times. I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, I'm not going to say we didn't know any better. We just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So we just dealt with what was there.
Yeah.
And,
we did. Yeah. Right.
People have. I'm not going to say, shouldn't say evolved or devolved, but they've changed to where we don't want to deal with it anymore, myself included.
But we were more thankful.
Yes.
I thought we were for our privileges and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought,
But I'm thankful for air conditioning in my house.
Yes, I am. Keeping your cool with the men.
Yeah, so we got some good racing, if weather permitting. This is one I went to last year. And we talked about this last night. It's at New Egypt. It's the Katie Mancini Memorial. It was one of the drivers. Bob, her husband, used to drive now. Her stepson drives.
Okay.
Paul was one of my favorite drivers, young kid. I think he's 17.
Wow.
And but really nice kid.
Got the urge early there, huh?
Wow. There's one, James Blewett. He's 15, and he looks like he's about 12. But they're both heck of a runners, but I was happy to see Paul Mancini win at Bridgeport early in the year. But so this is the benefit cancer research and stuff like that. It's kind of like right up my alley with the Relay for Life. So if it runs this weekend, I'd like to see a lot of people show up for this. It starts at 4. Hot laps at 6. They're in their summer hours, and you get down there and there'll be all kinds of stuff going on. Big wheel races.
Yeah,
I mean, how much fun is that?
You're the big wheel man. The man.
We got a caller. I wonder who that could be.
I don't know, but it's probably somebody we know. You're on with Fred. Go ahead. Hello.
Oh, where'd he go?
Morning.
There you go. Hey, how's it going?
Very good. Very good. Good
it's Earl.
to be on the air with you guys.
Hey, Earl.
Hey, Fred, great show last night. You're really doing well with the Wednesday evening program.
Yes, thank you.
I really enjoyed it. You and Nick, and good to have Warren Alston on. Worked with Warren for many, many years in various capacities, and of course Nick. I know Nick so well, and good to see you guys doing that. I think it's great.
Thank you.
Very shy, Nick.
That's why he's with me. He offsets me. We're like the Stan and Ollie of auto racing radio.
Well, it's interesting talking about a few moments ago that you got the number 130 replica vintage car.
Yeah.
And the first time I met Mark Yapel back in 1978 at East Windsor, when he had the number 99 that Johnny Leach drove.
Yeah.
And that's when I first got to know Mark and Johnny, and through Nick. And it's been a good friendship over the years. Always enjoyed being around those guys, and we share a lot of racing history. So it's nice to see that you've got that car now that meant a lot to Johnny as well.
Yeah, I might turn it back into a 130 because when Andy Belmont bought it, and he was turning it into a Ferriola Billy Osmond replica car, so he's halfway in, halfway out of it. So,
Okay.
So it's got a new motor, and he started painting it the burgundy and white, the Ferriola purple and white, burgundy and white.
Right.
But everybody's like, "Oh man, that's Johnny Leach's car. That's his first car." And then Nick and I'm like, "Well, we're keeping it in the family. Maybe we'll just go back to the 130 because
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it'd be nice. I think that's probably what we'll end up doing. I was going to do my dad's and Bill Gandy's car, the blue gold 31, and but Johnny's car is much more known. Everybody's looking forward to seeing the 130 out there, and I'm looking forward to driving it. Nick will probably hop behind the wheel, and that'll be like a big heartwarming moment.
Yeah,
So,
be like
absolutely.
a Mickey Mantle 7. That's a big number there.
yeah. Yep.
Collector's item.
So yeah, I bought that from Andy yesterday, and because he said he's got too much going on, and and he does have a lot going on.
Has an old look feel too.
It's an old, I think 36 Chevy Coupe.
30. That goes back to
Yeah.
the 30s.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I thought
Yeah, a lot of
50s
those-
maybe.
No,
No.
the coupes and sedans and stuff like that were
That's
like
great.
30s, early 40s.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a classic era in local dirt track and asphalt racing in the 50s, 60s, into the 70s. The coupes were still out there, coupes and sedans. So, yeah. That's nice.
It was. I used to see, like, when I first when I was a kid, there was a lot of coupes and cut up. My dad's buddy Earl Schloeder had it, and Kerry drove it. It was
K46.
The K46, and it was a Valiant. Al Tasnady drove it for a little bit, and then Kerry got of age and started driving, and then they got the coupe. And then when my dad got tied in with them, he started working for Earl at the car lot and stuff, and started building the cars. My dad got him switching over to Gremlins. So and that was when the Gremlins were starting to get hot. So they were just they put together a pretty car, Schloeder's. And that was a pretty car.
Absolutely. That's when I first met Earl Schloeder and Kerry at East Windsor. At the same time that I met Mark and John, with their car. I met Earl Schloeder, and a very nice gentleman. And
very interesting people.
There's a fellow named Ted Munchback was mechanic on that car.
Yep, my dad took over for Ted when Ted moved on. My dad and Ted worked together for a year or so on it, and then Ted went somewhere else. I don't know if he moved away or whatever, but my dad took over the wrenching and building and stuff like that on that car for a couple of years.
I probably met your dad without realizing who it was. As we're talking now, I probably saw him in the pit area and talked with him.
I'm sure.
By the K46 at several points.
Yeah. Mark Yapel, he worked with George Alt, and George and Kerry were kind of close. So my dad and Mark knew each other. Plus, there's the Ewing connection there too. So, but
Chip Slocum, Lou Slocum, the whole gang.
Well, that was my dad's car. He bought from Charlie Krieger. Bill Gandy did.
Krieger.
Yeah, the 31, blue and gold 31. They drove it for a couple of years. My dad was working on it. It was always in my backyard. So, and because before that, Bill had another one. Was what I found out was a square tube chassis. So he wanted to upgrade a little bit.
Right.
Mark filled me in on that this morning. I always love when Mark fills me in on stuff about my family. Well, it's great because they go way back. My dad and Mark go way back. So, so they bought that from Chip Krieger, or Charlie Krieger. Chip drove it. I found a picture on the website, so I posted that. I'm like, hey, I know that car. And then they drove it for a couple years and then sold it to Lou Slocum. And according to Mark, Tommy McConnell drove that car. And then
is that the C&L 22?
Yeah, C&L 22, baby blue.
Okay. Right.
And then they eventually switched. When Chip started driving, he got the Don Kreitz Gremlins, and so that's where it all ties in. It's like we're one big family.
Yes.
So.
And what's so neat about that too, Fred, is that back in that era, cars actually had a personality and a life. Like today, you don't want to use the term throwaway, but the cars are. It's so different. But back then, a car would change hands many times between car owners and drivers, and it could be around for many years, the same car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can see, and the person to ask is Mark. No matter what car I put out there, that was this guy's, that was this guy's, that was this guy. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I love hearing that stuff. I love talking to Mark. I sit with him in New Egypt a couple of times, and it's just, he's a wealth of knowledge and history.
Yes, he is. Yeah, great guy, good friend.
Yeah. So, I always have fun, and I'm glad to be getting into the nostalgia tour. I wanted to talk to you about because you're in charge of what, Garden State Vintage, or?
Well, the Garden State Vintage Stock Car Club years ago, when it first started, and for many years, they coordinated on-track activities with vintage cars, actually taking laps at Wall Stadium, New Egypt, Bridgeport. But within the last 10 years, the club's direction changed. It's strictly now a historic organization archiving the history of the sport. They have their museum at Wall Stadium. Several members do have vintage cars, but the club no longer organizes vintage cars displays on the tracks.
Okay.
So I know New Egypt and Bridgeport do have vintage nights where they bring the vintage cars out and the drivers can run them around the track. But
it's a conversation I'm having with Wade Roth.
Yeah, it's more the tracks themselves. And I know there's an organization, the name escapes me right now, that they coordinate events at Grandview.
Okay.
I believe like on some Friday nights where you can actually take your vintage car to Grandview and they have vintage meets out there.
Okay.
And several other tracks do too. I believe Evergreen Speedway in Pennsylvania, which is up near Hazleton, PA. That's a 3rd-mile asphalt track. They have vintage days on Sundays, like once a month. So, yeah, you'll be able to run the refurbished number 130 different tracks. And I know New Egypt and Bridgeport specifically, they have nights when they welcome the vintage, participants there, and they usually give them 10 laps or so around the track, maybe some more.
Yeah, 10, 15 laps on there. Yeah.
Right. So that'll be a good opportunity for you to showcase the car. And I know that periodically different tracks will have opportunities for you to even display the car, even if it's not on the track, like in the midway, like back at New Egypt, you can have.
Yeah, New Egypt, you can pull up, and I think they do it before the races. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
I know the Taylor family nearby New Egypt there, Steve Taylor, they have their dad Harry's number 92 car that he raced at East Windsor and Flemington back in the 1970s. That car has been restored, and they've had that at New Egypt several times.
Yeah, we have the 93 or the 39 sometimes. It depends on who's got it. It was Piscopo Brothers had that. Al Tesnady drove that one for a while. And that was based in Fallsington, over by us here. And and then went somewhere. And once it popped up on a show around here last week, and I'm like, oh, wow, cool. So somebody has it and being handled well. So yeah, it's always cool to see that kind of stuff. So what's going on at Wall this weekend? I know we talked last night, but we got new people listening today.
Very good. We have the twin 35s for the modifieds that were rained out last Saturday night. We're going to run them again this Saturday, and we also have it's going to be a really nice big show on a summer Saturday night, weather permitting. We have all of our regular divisions running as well, regular features, and we have the touring ATQ MRA wing TQ midgets coming in as well. And they run on the inner flat track, the 5th mile, which is on the inside of the banked oval. And they put on some really good racing on the 5th mile track. So it'll be a real fan-friendly show on a Saturday night.
And I may be one of those fans down there this week.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be great to have you there. Absolutely.
So, cool. All right.
You mentioned that Nick might be joining you?
Yeah, Nick might be joining me with that. He's out there working now. He was planning on joining me here this morning, but he got called into work. And he's not happy about it. It's awful muddy up there in the landfill.
Oh, man. Well, if Nick is listening, Nick, always good to hear you, buddy. And hopefully we'll see you Saturday night.
All right.
Nick's a great guy.
All right, Earl, thank you so much for the call and the information and reliving a little history with us.
Earl the Pearl.
All right. He is the
Thank
Pearl.
you, Jim.
Thank you.
It's always great being on, and keep up the good work promoting our sport. That's what it's all about. So,
all right.
Talk to you guys.
All right. Thanks, Earl.
There you go. Right on time as always.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So that's when you're doing a show, you can always rely on the old reliables.
Yep.
Earl
is the best. I mean, even, going down the wall and interviewing with them and meeting some of the drivers, it was just. I still talk about
well prepared.
Yes.
Yes.
Earl knows he's been doing it a long time, and evidently he knows my family as well too.
Yeah. We know where you live.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind that. Sorry.
It's funny because the 31, Mark Yapel lived near. Yeah. Bill Gandy, and who had the car, and then Bruce Bowen lived next to him, who does a lot of the lettering. So I might, after I get done with getting the Johnny car done, the 130, I might, get it all painted. Then I'll have Bruce maybe paint it up,
the Johnny
to letter it up.
Carson.
Yeah.
Hi-oh. That'd be great.
I think I got to put Johnny Leach on it.
Hi-oh. All right. We're gonna move on. You're up with Fred. Go ahead. You're here.
I was wondering if you have any Twizzlers over there. I'll come in there and get a couple Twizzlers.
We got the big vending machine in here for this stuff now. I got some. I got them right here for you, Nick.
All right, I left them for you guys. You guys are supposed to be taking care of them.
Not supposed to be eaten on the air. It's going to be.
The Twizzlers count. That's not actually food.
Yeah, that's just a snack. That's to get you all jacked up on sugar so you can sound like me, Jim.
There you go.
I can cram a half-hour program in the 10
Now we know
minutes.
Nick's secret. Yeah. Twizzlers.
Yeah.
Twizzler.
Twizzler.
Twizzlers and Swedish fish.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm right in on
Driving the Twizzler 500. We got a new we got a race going.
So how's it up on the hill there, Nick?
Very sloppy.
Yeah.
Very, very sloppy. But it is what it is.
Yep.
I mean, we've been doing this for years, so it's no hill for a climber, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's what they make pressure washers for when you're done. You pressure wash your truck. But
great show. Great show last night, I thought. I mean, Warren done a wonderful job for us, and we had some great guests call in. And I just think it's going to get better as we go. I think we're going to accomplish a lot of stuff. A lot of people are interested, and I don't want you to feel obligated to make that car a 130 car.
No.
Car that you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I can get your original pictures of the car. Tommy made it look like the 130, but I have original pictures of that car when it was done, and the paint scheme was a little different than the way Tommy made it. Tommy got it the best that he could, but if you're going to have Bowen letter that car, I'll get you the original pictures of the car.
Yeah, I'm still kicking back and forth, but the common theme there is like, that's John's car. So
but I mean, it's not the original car; it's a replica.
Right.
So you can make that car anything you want. I mean, it's your car. I know how much it would be so cool to have a car that your dad had and your dad worked on.
Right.
And I don't want you to feel obligated to make that car.
Well,
of course, Andy would make it a 73, so
yeah.
it doesn't have to be that car. I would love to see you making the car that your father worked on, and you've seen it in the backyard. How cool would it be to see that every day when you come to work or whatever?
Oh yeah, it really is cool because it brings back good memories of the car sitting in my backyard.
Yep.
Not that it would be my mom's memory, but that car in my driveway or in the backyard.
1 out of 2. It's not so bad.
That's what you would want. I mean, and that's basically why you buy something like that. You make it bring back memories for you, and that's what you should do. I mean, I'd be honored for you to do that, but it was already a 130. Now let's make it your car.
Yeah, okay.
And take that out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll have some fun.
Well, I appreciate that, Nick, and then we'll do some flipping of cards and rock, paper, scissors, and we'll see what go with that.
Well, you never know. You may find another one, and then,
there you go. I don't know if my wife can handle another one. Me getting another one. I got past this one.
Once you get the bug, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a lot of fun with that. I'm going to tell you that right now. You don't have to race it every week, and you can have some fun.
Yeah, and it's not actually racing. It's more of an exhibition where I don't have to go out there and slam bars with people and end up in the wall. No, just go out there and have some fun.
They don't go for that. Not with them cars. They don't go for that touching. They don't want to do no touching.
No touching.
They just want to show their stuff, and it'll be a lot of fun. And there's some big races coming up this weekend if Mother Nature cuts us some slack. You know, Grandview's got the Forrest Rogers Memorial, then Big Diamond has a big race, of course, the Katie Mancini race. Bridgeport's got some sprint car stuff going on. So, I mean, Mother Nature's got to cut us a break here. I mean, I don't know what we got to do. Get a hold of a voodoo woman and have her take the spell off us. But, I mean, it's supposed to start raining again here pretty soon and go right on through tomorrow.
Yeah, they're out there doing a rain dance or something out there. So
Exactly.
But, I think today and tomorrow are supposed to be really off and on pretty rough. And but clear up for Saturday. I saw Matt posted on there. Matt Rozier posted on mine. It may pull out. Yeah, they might be able to pull it out. We'll have to see.
Nature always wins.
Absolutely.
Nature finds a way. But I'm looking forward to getting with you this week, whether we do the Katie Mancini or we go down the wall or whatever we're going to do, and having a good time this weekend.
Yep, absolutely. Well, keep up the good work, guys, and pray for sunshine. That's all we can do.
All right, you got to go back to work, or we can write you an excuse note that you had some broadcast obligations.
No excuse over here. You got to do what you got to do, and I work for some very good people. The Koretsky's are great people to work for. I drive some of the best equipment out there. So if I was driving a piece of junk and not liking what I was doing, I'd be sitting over there with you guys. So I can't.
Well, keep that in mind. All right, next time.
We got Twizzlers, if that's a.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right.
Have fun.
See you next
and
week.
I'll talk to you later.
You
All right,
bet.
Nick.
Just remember, Jim, you know the motto.
That's right. That's personal.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Strictly business.
All right, guys. Thanks. Yep,
All right.
see ya.
And also, Sonny said they're saps because they risk their lives for strangers.
Yeah.
Remember that one too.
Yeah, we're touching about last night's show. We got some
Yep.
good things going on. We're Nick actually got us hooked up with Low Down and Dirty, Low Down Motorsports, and they're going to simulcast with us.
Good.
So
Wow.
so we're
Well,
getting some.
that's kind of the networking. It's fits and starts, and
It's going to help us all. It's going to help us with getting the word out for the tracks, and
Good.
maybe get some sponsors. It's going to help the radio station here by getting more avenues out there, because we already run it on. We have WBCB has their YouTube. I have my YouTube, The America's Mechanic, which I share on too. I have my Facebook page where I put a lot of this stuff on, whether it's my personal, Fletcher's Garage, or Need for Speed. Nick's got his own and Need for Speed, because we're partners on that. So we're getting a lot of avenues out there, a lot of people getting interested, and a lot of people getting reinterested in the sport. And we're looking for sponsors. And if anybody wants to get on the ground floor with us and take it to the next level, let us know. You can call here at the radio station, ask for Bill Redner, or you can message me and I'll hook you up with Bill, or I'll take care of some of the advertising and leads on that as well.
Go track down John Milner. That's what we still have
I'm
to
still
do.
trying to track down. He hasn't called me back yet.
You know what? You never know.
I don't know how he
you never
operates.
know.
Yeah, I would think that he would call me back and we'd schedule it. But
Yeah.
wouldn't that be cool if he just showed up?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of Hot Rod Santa. We got a couple.
Where's Toad? Is he here? Where's the Toad?
Maybe I should go through Toad.
Yeah, Charlie Martin Smith.
Yeah.
So
I'm still looking for Candy Clark. So
yeah,
I'll always look for Candy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, but it's kind of the feel of the day. I'm back in the hot rod days, early 60s.
And that's why I wanted the nostalgia.
Was a big deal.
Yeah, I wanted the nostalgia car. I didn't want to get into. I've looked at a couple of newer cars and was shopping around on the marketplace, maybe getting into a 4-cylinder setup. But I actually decided to sponsor my friend who calls here, Dom Antonelli. I'm going to sponsor his car, and we're going to put a big stinking pink flamingo on his hood.
There you go.
So, and
it was Antonelli all the time.
Yeah,
we knew it. Yeah.
So
Bonzini.
Yeah, I'm happy to help him out and get his team, up there, because he's a top runner and he just needs a little more over there. And he's one of the most popular drivers at the track.
Yeah,
he's a great guy. The great family. The whole family's great.
Reputation hard, well earned.
Yeah. Yep. I love the guy, and I'm happy to sponsor him and his car.
Yeah, so we got to get you and feel the need for speed is what we have.
Right? I hope everybody feels the need for speed after listening to our show.
Yes, we were talking at one time faster than the sound of speed, whatever, top speed.
So, weather permitting, hit all the tracks. You got New Egypt, Bridgeport, Wall, Maple Grove, Grandview. All those, and the ones that Nick was talking about too. They're up outside of Reading.
And more to come as well. Hopefully there'll be more on board the next time we talk. Or down the line as well. So. But remember, Fred's got the show on Wednesday night.
Wide Open Wednesday.
Certainly
5
was.
p.m. Yep.
It was maybe be wild open.
We could do that too.
That's pretty wild too. And then we have Under the Hood at 9, and then the Need for Speed
9:30.
9:30 here on WBCB.
Have a great week.